Yeah, he's also called the warrior monk, incidentally, on account of apparently not possessing a television, no wife or any children, and spending all his time reading literature and philosophy. But he does have a pretty robust reputation inside the military. Did 44 years in the Marine Corps, has a whole string of quite aphoristic kind of sayings attributed to him, including "I like brawling," "It's a hoot to shoot people sometimes," and "engage brain before weapon." So he is a pretty colourful figure. Importantly, he agrees with Donald Trump on things like Iran. He's very suspicious of the Iran agreement. He's also much more suspicious of Russia than Donald Trump is. That will be a difference between them. And he doesn't support torture, unlike Donald Trump, who said that during the campaign he'd like to bring back waterboarding. So there's a bit of a mixture in terms of their fit, but he is a man with a high reputation in the military terms.
Yeah, the waterboarding thing, he said actually you'd achieve more with a pint of beer and a cigarette.
Yes, he did. And interestingly, you mentioned the waiver earlier on. This is because the American system, like in Britain too, likes to see a division between the civilian masters of the military and the military itself. And the idea is that you should be out of uniform for at least 7 years before you can become head of the Department of Defense. Now, he's only done 3, as you said. It is possible for Congress to waive that. It would be a vote in both houses of Congress. That does mean potentially, if the Democrats wanted to, they could filibuster that in the Senate. I think it's unlikely, but they could, and the Republicans don't have enough votes to overcome a filibuster on their own. It's the last time that waiver was used was 1950, when George Marshall, he of the Marshall Plan, etc., a great Second World War general like Patton, he became Truman's defense secretary. And at the time, Congress said, we don't want to see this happen again.
Gary, the voters with people who actually know what they're doing and may just be...
Well, I think this is one of the first appointments that's sort of a bit more outside the tent of the campaign than we've seen so far. Obviously, there were a lot of people who were critical of the early appointments, people like Michael Flynn as the national security advisor, another former general. Of course, he's a key strategist as well. They were worried about his appointment, Steve Bannon, and a couple of the appointments in terms of education secretary, big Republican donors, didn't look like many people that he was trying to drain the swamp. I think the thing about Mattis is he has a track record. He has a track record not just as a soldier, or rather as a Marine, but he has a track record as a strategist, a thinker. He ran Central Command between 2010 and 2013. Now, Central Command is the bit of the world devoted to the Middle East. So he ran one of the most sensitive commands in the entire US military, and did a pretty good job of doing that by all accounts. And really, it was only his sort of scepticism about the Iran deal that led to him not really being promoted onwards from there in 2013. His men like him. The Pentagon the other day, I asked just a couple of people randomly, what do you think? And they said, he'll be very, very popular around here.